We good to go. We are good to go, man. Sorry about that delay, man. What's good with your fam? Welcome to Big Faces Worldwide, where we talking nothing but this boxing, man. Hey, listen, man. First off, let me thank you all for tuning in to the channel. If you're new here, I want you to be here, man. So I want you to think about subscribing to the channel because we stay knee deep into this boxing conversation, man. We had a lot of good fights on this weekend, man. Top Rank put on the card, Matchroom and DAZN put on the card, and the PBC, they had Jamall Charlo had his homecoming fight down there in Houston, Texas. They put on the card also, man. All three cards had good fights on them, man. I'm gonna begin with the Top Rank card, man. Richard Comey, man, who is the IBF champion, you know, he did his thing against Ray Beltran, man. We know. You know, Ray Beltran is the old veteran. You know what I'm saying? He used to be the champion, man. He lost to Jose Pedraza. You know, somehow, some way, man. Bob Arum keeps putting him in these positions where he can win championships, man. But unfortunately, Ray Beltran came in overweight. I think he was like a pound or something overweight, man. You know, he couldn't, if he did win, he wasn't going to win the title. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he was just in there for nothing, for real. But, you know, it was a good fight, man. Comey did his thing. You know, he came out strong, came out fast. He dropped Ray Beltran in the first round. You know what I'm saying? He dropped him, he hurt him quite a few times. But, you know, Ray Beltran being the old veteran that he is, you know, he hung in there, man. You know what I'm saying? I think he hurt Richard Comey with a couple shots, backed him up off of him. You know, because Comey started fast. You know what I mean? Comey was on his ass, looked like he wanted to make a statement. Me personally, I thought Comey was just going to go in there and blow right through Ray Beltran, man. I thought, you know, Ray Beltran was too old, you know what I mean? Too much, you know, wear and tear on them old breaks, man. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, Ray Beltran proved again, you know, he didn't win the fight, but he proved that he was still tough, man. You know what I mean? He hung in there until the 8th round. Comey finally got him out of there in the 8th round, man. Dropped him a couple times, hurt him a couple times, man. But, you know, Richard Comey did what he had to do. He got him out of there. Teofimo Lopez, you know, he's always lurking. He was in attendance. You know, should he win this fight coming up, I believe it's in July, he fights again against a Japanese kid, man. I can't think of his name right now, man. But you know, that kid's supposed to be tough. You know what I'm saying? So, but if Teofimo beats the Japanese kid, then you know he gets a shot at Richard Comey. You know what I'm saying? And you know they trying to make that undisputed fight. I believe the fight between Luke Campbell and Lomachenko, they keep saying it's finished. Luke Campbell jumped on social media last week saying it wasn't finished. You know what I'm saying? But pretty much it's going to be in the UK. The tentative date is August 31st. You know, I'm really looking forward to that fight, man. 2 gold medalists. Loma won it twice, 2008 and 2012. Luke Campbell won it in 2012. I believe he won it at bantamweight too. You know what I'm saying? But Luke Campbell can fight, man. He lost against Jorge Linares. He lost against. He had another loss earlier in his career, but since then, I think Campbell has got a little bit better, man. I think that you know, I think he's evolved as a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Dope Action Stallone, what's good with you, fam? I see you, man. I don't see the Stallone, no, fam. Would you change your name? It's all good. I just see Dope Action, man. Hey, cousin Ashley, what's up, baby? I love you, too. Yeah, man, but I'm looking forward to that Lomachenko Campbell fight. I think Campbell got the style to give Lomachenko a little bit of problems, man. You know what I'm saying? I think he got the style to give him you know, some trouble. You know, Lomachenko, you know, ever since his, you know, he came off that, what was it, a shoulder, arm, some type of arm injury. You know what I mean? He didn't look good against Jose Pedraza. He didn't look good against Linares. But that last fight that he fought, I forget the guy's name. I can't think of it right now, man. But it was his mandatory. Guy from the UK. What was his name, man? Damn, one of Eddie Hearn's guys, man. You know Eddie Hearn be bringing these dudes over there, man. But Lomachenko went in there and did the damn thing, man. He dusted him off, man. He looked like that Lomachenko that we all knew, man. You know what I'm saying? Lomachenko did his thing with him, and he showed why he is one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. So, they're setting up this round robin, you know what I'm saying, at the 135 pound division, man. You know what I'm saying? Whoever come out that fight is going to be a unified champion. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to face the winner of Teofimo, and the Japanese dude's going to fight Richard Comey, man. I seen an interview recently with Teofimo said that Devin Haney ain't going to get no shot, man. He said that he got an inside track with the WBC, and that, Devin Haney really thinks he's going to get a shot at the WBC crown, at the winner of the Lomachenko-Campbell fight. That's what I've been hearing. That's what they've been saying since they announced the fight, that Devin Haney was going to get the winner of Campbell-Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? I think that was a big reason why Devin Haney went over there with Eddie Hearn in the first place. You know what I'm saying? He was promised that WBC title shot, man. But Teofimo acting like he really knows something, man. Like he knows something that the rest of us don't, man. He said Devin Haney thinks he's gonna get that shot, but he ain't getting it. You know what I mean? We know Teofimo. He was down there at the WBC headquarters a couple months ago. Pleading his case, man. So he may got a good rapport with Mauricio Suleiman. And we all know with the recent activities of the WBC that they don't give a damn what they gonna do. You know what I mean? They're gonna do what they want to do, how they want to do it, and they don't care who like it. You know what I'm saying? WBC, man, they make their rules up as they go along. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see what's up, man. We'll see. We'll see who wins that fight, and we'll go from there, man. Then we had a DAZN card, you know what I mean? Matchroom did their thing. They was up at the Dunkin' Donuts Arena in Providence, Rhode Island, man. Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, man. He was the headliner, you know what I'm saying? He went up against Mason Selecki, but on that card was Joseph Parker. The former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, man. He went up against Alex Leopold, tough veteran. He's an older dude, man. I was surprised at Joseph Parker, man, but I was listening to some interviews by Parker leading up to this fight, man, where Parker was saying how, in the past, you know what I'm saying, he was practicing the hit and don't get hit method, you know what I'm saying? He was being more cautious, and now moving forward, he wasn't going to be as cautious. He was going to take more chances, take more risks, and lay it out all on the line, man. Well, he started off this fight with Leopold doing just that, man. First round, man, I thought he was going to knock Leopold out. I thought he was going to stop him, man. Joseph Parker came out of there, man, and was throwing them hands. He was landing them knuckles upside of Leopold's head, man, and I thought he was going to get him out of there, man, but he was not able to do so. Leopold proved to be a little bit tougher than Joseph Parker thought he was going to be. But for the first couple rounds, Joseph Parker, you know what I mean, he wasn't thinking about no defense. He wasn't being cautious. You know what I'm saying? He was doing exactly what he said he was going to do, and that's lay it all on the line. You know what I'm saying? But I think about the fourth, fifth round, Joseph Parker went back to the style that we're used to seeing Joseph Parker fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's that hit and don't get hit style that he said he was trying to move away from. You know what I'm saying? He was boxing good. He was boxing smart, and he won the fight. He ended up stopping Leopold in the 10th round. He signed with Eddie Hearn. This is his first fight with Eddie Hearn. I think he got a 3-fight deal with him, man. Now that Anthony Joshua is dethroned, I think Eddie Hearn is just, trying to get some type of foothold on the heavyweight division just in case Joshua should lose this rematch against Andy Ruiz, man. So he's trying to get back up, man. He signed Joseph Parker. He's going to the bat with the WBC for Dillian White. I don't think he gonna get nowhere, you know what I'm saying, arguing with the sanctioning bodies, man. You know what I mean? You cannot argue with the sanctioning bodies, man. The WBC, you know, they're gonna do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And you coming out publicly trying to trash the WBC, trying to act like you gonna sue them and act like you just going to put your foot on their neck, ain't gonna get you nowhere, man. Ain't gonna get you nowhere, man. Dillian White had ample opportunity to fight for the WBC title, man. The WBC ordered Luis Ortiz versus Dillian White. Dillian White ain't want no parts of that. You know what I'm saying? He ain't want no parts of that. You know what I mean? That was his shot right there, man. Go into a fight with Luis Ortiz. The winner get the mandatory shot against Wilder. Easy peasy. Dillian White ain't want to do that, man. And then they was trying to figure out who was the mandatory. This was before Wilder fought Brazil. Was Brazil the mandatory, or was Dillian White the mandatory? So, you know, Dominic Brazil said, hey, you know, we both want this spot. Let's rumble for it. Let's knuckle up, get in the ring, and let's get busy. Dillian White, he ain't want to do that either. You know what I mean? He ain't want to do that either. Then Deontay Wilder, the world heavyweight champion of the world, you know, he told Dillian White, listen, man, fight Luis Ortiz. This is after this. No matter of fact, this was before the WBC ordered it. He said, fight Luis Ortiz. If you beat him, I'll give you a shot. And, you know, Deontay Wilder has known to be a man of his word, man. He stands by what he say. And, you know what I'm saying, if he said it, he meant it. Dillian White ain't want no problem, no parts of that, man. So, you know, all this fuss that Dillian White is making now, man, it's like you had 3 different opportunities to become the mandatory for the WBC title shot. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he's just trying to make noise or if he really wants the shot or not, man. And I kind of like Dillian White, man. I think Dillian White's a dog, man. I think he gets in there and lays it all on the line. He got a tough fight coming up against Oscar Rivas. You know what I'm saying? That's not no guaranteed win for him. You know what I mean? But the WBC has ruled that should he get past Oscar Rivas, that he will be the mandatory for Deontay Wilder's WBC title, you know, sometime in the future. But Deontay Wilder just fought his mandatory Dominic Brazil, so, you know, he could push that fight back, you know, for a while. You know what I'm saying? He got these unification bouts, you know what I'm saying? So Dillian White, you know, he may be out of the picture till 2021, you know what I'm saying, if these unifications fall in line the way that, you know, I hope they fall in line, you know what I'm saying? He fight Tyson Fury next year, and then, you know, maybe he'll get the Ruiz Joshua 2 winner, you know what I'm saying? And by that time, that'll be the end of next year. So Dillian White, he may, if, you know what I'm saying, if he gets past Rivas, he may not get a shot till sometime in 2020. You know what I mean? If he could keep winning. You know, Dillian White don't like to sit on his hands. Dillian White likes to fight. You know what I'm saying? He had an opportunity to fight Anthony Joshua. Should he just wait? You know what I'm saying? Nah, he wanted to keep fighting, man. And he got in there with Joseph Parker. He beat Joseph Parker too in a real tough fight. Joseph Parker dropped him in the last round. Had there been 30 seconds or a minute left in that fight, Joseph Parker may have beat Dillian White. But Dillian White got a tough fight against Oscar Rivas, man. It's going to be a real tough matchup for him, man. But I think that he should get past Oscar Rivas. I'm gonna be looking forward to that fight. I'm gonna do a couple videos on it. You know, as we get closer, man. I think that fight's what, the 20th or something like that. I know it's in a couple weeks. I know it's this month. We'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Unknown Mystery, man. What's going on, fam? I see you, man. He say it's been a while since I've been able to catch a live show. What's good, fam? Oh, man, I can't call it. I might spoil it, you know? I'm just on here talking this thing that we love called boxing, man. But the main event on this DAZN card was Demetrius Boo Boo Andre. He went up against Maciej Sulecki, man, defending his what he got? The his WBO middleweight title. I believe it was his second defense. Is this his second defense? Yeah, his second defense, man. You know, the build up to this fight, Maciej Sulecki was all business, man. You know what I'm saying? He was all business. We know he gave Daniel Jacob a tough fight. Then he went to Philly. He fought Gabe Rosado. I was at that fight, you know, in Press Row, which was a really good fight. You know, he was dominating Gabe Rosado until like the end of the later rounds, man. Gabe Rosado started coming on, man, and I believe he dropped Selecki once. He might have dropped him twice. I know he definitely dropped him once, man. But Maciej Selecki, proved to be tough. He got up off the canvas and finished that fight. He got dropped against Danny Jacobs, but he proved to be tough against Danny Jacobs. So one thing that we learned coming into this fight was that Maciej Selecki wasn't no slouch, wasn't no pushover, wasn't just gonna lay down for Demetrius Andrade. And up until this point, this was probably going to be the toughest fight that Boo Boo Andrade has seen, in a long time, man. So we thought. You know what I'm saying? But Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, man, he came out there in round one. He was in his home crowd of Providence, Rhode Island, and he was fighting like a man possessed, man. He jumped on Maciej Selecki's ass. You understand what I'm saying? He was putting hands all over Selecki, man. He dropped him in that first round. I thought he was going to stop him, man. You know what I mean? I never seen him so violent in the first round, so determined. You know what I mean? He really was trying to get that stoppage in front of his home crowd. The crowd was going crazy. I think that was a successful event, man. The arena looked at packed, man. But Boo Boo did his thing. He got the unanimous victory. I don't think Maciej Selecki won one single round on the judges' scorecard. He may have won one on one judge's card, but the majority of the fight, man, Demetrius Andrade, he dominated Maciej Selecki, something that Daniel Jacobs wasn't able to do. You know what I mean? He was piecing Daniel Jacobs up. You know what I mean? But now Boo Boo, man. Boo Boo was in there getting busy, man. I was surprised, man. I was impressed with him. But Boo Boo was a little sloppy in some instances, man. Boo Boo has the tendency sometimes to throw that wild shot where he overthrows it and missed, then he stumbles. You know what I'm saying? He stumbles. When you fight an elite fighter, maybe a Canelo or Charlo or Triple G, they may be able to capitalize on that. You know what I'm saying? When you throwing so hard and you miss, and then you stumble 3 or 4 feet, man. You know what I mean? An elite fighter gonna be there to counterpunch you, man. Maciej Selecki wasn't able to take advantage of that, but an elite fighter, they may be able to take advantage of that. You understand what I'm saying? But Demetrius Andrade, overall, I give him a B. I gave him a B. You know what I mean? If I was grading him, I give him a B. I think he looked good. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get the stoppage. I was listening to his dad, who was his trainer, in between rounds. You know what I'm saying? His dad was beating in his ear how, you know what I mean, the sweet signs of, hit and not get hit. You know what I'm saying? But I think Demetrius Andrade, he wanted to go in there and knock dude out. But he's a smart fighter. He was listening to he was disciplined. He was listening to his trainer, his father, and doing what he said. And that was, making adjustments, man, hitting and getting out the way, man. Maciej Selecki couldn't really get him, man. Couldn't really lay a glove on him, man. And Demetrius Andrade moves on. You know what I'm saying? After the fight, he called out Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be a good fight. Canelo Alvarez and Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, you know what I'm saying? And that's why this is so puzzling, why the WBC why Canelo and WBC made this move. You know what I mean? The Body Snatcher. What's up, fam? But the Body Snatcher in the building, man. Boxing and MMA. Make sure y'all go check his channel out, man. He says, what's up, man? First time in your live stream. Hey, listen, man, I appreciate it, man. I was on your channel checking your videos out, man. You do a very good job, man. Very, very good job. Appreciate you in the house, man. But yeah, I was so puzzled by the WBC and Canelo Alvarez move with this franchise belt, you know what I'm saying? Because he was so close to the undisputed fight. You know what I mean? Demetrius Andrade, he's over there at the zone. You know what I mean? He's holding that WBC strap, and he wants to fight you. You're one strap away from getting what you've said you've always wanted. Undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Undisputed, man. The Body Snatcher says I'm about to start back up. Yeah, man, I see it. You was about a month behind, but it's all good, man. You know what I mean? People still checking them old videos out, man. But yeah, man, he was one fight away from undisputed. You understand? One fight away. How do you give that up? How do you give that up, man? And people, the argument is he ducking Charlo? Is he scared of Charlo? What is the deal? You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I look at it like this. You're one step away from being undisputed middleweight champion. You know what I mean? You will go down in history. You know what I mean? That's a stamp in your legacy. Undisputed middleweight champion. You're one belt away from it. And you give it all up because you don't want to fight Jamall Charlo. I like Canelo, but with that, I like Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I think he's an exceptional fighter. I think he's one of the best fighters in the world. But by him being so close to undisputed and not going for it, that tells me he don't want to fight Jamall Charlo. That's the only conclusion I can bring from it. He does not want to fight Jamall Charlo for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason. There's many reasons that you can choose from. They have said in the past, who has he fought? He hasn't fought nobody. He didn't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? But then you look back and you fighting Rocky Fielding and you fighting all these other guys that didn't deserve it. Liam Walsh and all those dudes. But you say Charlo don't deserve a fight. I don't understand it. So it couldn't be that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he just don't want to give Charlo that payday. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he despised Jamall Charlo that much that he don't want to give him that payday. He ain't going to fight him. Or the third option is he don't think he could beat him, or he don't want to fight that tough of a matchup. You know what I'm saying? Do I think Canelo's scared of Jamall Charlo? Absolutely not. How could you want to fight Sergey Kovalev, a guy who's 170 pounds, who we know can punch, who caught a body in the ring? We know he can punch, man. And but people say he's scared of Jamall Charlo. I wouldn't say he's necessarily scared of him, but at the same time, he don't want to face him for some reason. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to face him. Maybe he think that matchup's too tough right now. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he don't think that he can beat him right now for some reason. He been wearing that knee brace. Maybe he's not 100% healthy. I don't know what the man's problem is, but he did not want to fight Jamall Charlo. Therefore, they stripped him of his title. Jamall Charlo is now the WBC middleweight champion of the world. And they gave, Canelo Alvarez the title of the franchise champion. He was so close to undisputed, man. So close to undisputed, man. But it's a win-win situation for both parties, man. Canelo gonna be Canelo. He gonna make his money whether he got the WBC strap or not. And Jamall Charlo, he has gotten what he's been on the road to get. On the path to get, and that is the championship. You know what I'm saying? People say he didn't fight nobody to get it, but he put himself in position to be there. You understand what I'm saying? He was the interim champion. You know what I mean? He put himself in that position, man, to be the mandatory challenger, to be the interim champion. You know what I'm saying? So he is there for a reason, and the WBC decided to elevate him to full champion. This ain't the first time a sanctioning body elevated a guy to the full champion or super champion, man. I think Jamall Charlo, he deserves it. You know what I'm saying? He's waited over a year for that mandatory shot. He did not get it. Unknown Mystery says high risk, low reward. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right, man. And that's probably how they looking at it. You know what I'm saying? That's probably how they looking at it. But Demetrius did good. The zone card, it was pretty good. I was cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Then PBC, they put on their card. Erickson the Hammer Lubin, he made his comeback, man. Laura Sweat Real, what's good with your fam? He says all facts, big face, much respect, great work, be more. Hey, man, let me tell you, I got so much love for B More, man. You don't understand. I'm in B More at least twice a year. I got a lot of family down there in B More, man. I got a lot of respect for him. Tank is one of my favorite fighters. A lot of respect for B More. So I appreciate you coming through. Red Glove, I see you in the house. Hey, listen, y'all, don't forget to hit that like button for me, man. I really appreciate it. It helps the channel, helps the channel grow, helps the visibility of the channel. I appreciate y'all if y'all hit that like button, man. But Erickson Hammer Lubin, man, he made his 154 comeback. I believe this is his second fight with Kevin Cunningham. You know, he went up against Zach Atu. Lubin looked it good, man. He looked it good, man. He looked it calm. That he kept that steady pressure on Atu. That jab, he used that jab perfectly to set up his power punches. He cut off the ring brilliantly, man. Lubin cuts off the ring really, really well. He's one of the best at cutting off the ring. You know what I'm saying? He was able to touch Atu whenever he wanted to. You know what I mean? Atu was hanging in there. He was tough, man. But he didn't have no punch. I think he only had like 6 knockouts in his whole career. So Lubin knew that he didn't really have to worry about Atu coming back with nothing. That's the reason why Lubin was on his ass like that, because Lubin was on his ass. You know what I'm saying? He was on him from the beginning of the bell to the end of the bell. You know what I'm saying? He was going up top to the head. He was going down low to the body. I mean, he was punishing Zach Atu, man. Lubin looked good, man. Kevin Cunningham got him down there working. He's still young. Lubin's 23 years old. And he's making his comeback. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Cunningham talked about how he thought that Lubin was not necessarily not ready for Jamall Charlo, but it was too soon, too early, and if he was involved, that he wouldn't have put him in there. You know what I'm saying? He was only 21 years old. There was no need to rush and put him in there with Jamall Charlo, who had more experience than Lubin. You know what I'm saying? Who had been through a lot more than Erickson Lubin. You know what I'm saying? But I like the route that Lubin's taken. You know what I'm saying? Red Glove said, "You looking a little red." Well, oh yeah, I know. I gotta make some adjustments, fam. You know this is new for me, man. I'm gonna get it down packed, fam. You know, but yeah, Lubin is looking good, man. I think the progress that him and Kevin Cunningham's making, I think is good. You know what I'm saying? I think their next move, they said they want a top 10 fighter in the 154-pound division. He specifically named Austin Trout or Terrell Goucher, who just fought to a draw, a couple weeks back, last month or whatever. He said he want one of those guys. He want a top 10 fighter. I think Lubin's ready. Man. He's looking good. He looks sensational. He ended up getting a stoppage. What round was that? I believe it was like the 4th or 5th round. No, the 4th round. He got the stoppage in the 4th round. Atu hurt his bicep or something. You could see him, they kept showing a replay where they was in a clinch and something happened, man, and he messed his bicep up, man, and but he was getting his ass whooped anyway. He was getting beat up, man. Lubin was beating him up. I mean, he was beating him up, battering and viciously going to the body, viciously going to the top. I mean, violently attacking him, man. You know what I mean? Lubin did his thing, man. Lubin is going to be a force to reckon with at 154 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I think the 154 pound division is one of the best divisions in boxing right now. And one of the main reasons for that is because they all are fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? Lord Sweat Real said that's a good fight for the Hammer. No doubt. You know what I mean? But they, you hear all these guys in these different weight classes talking about fighting each other, saying they want to fight each other, what they going to do, woo, 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 and all that. But these guys at 154 are fighting each other. You know what I mean? They getting it done. They saying who they want to fight. They signing to fight them. They getting in there, and they getting busy. You know what I'm saying? We had 2 upsets, Tony Harrison, WBC champion. That's who Lubin won the eliminator for, the WBC eliminator. That fight that Lubin was just in was the WBC eliminator to the title that Tony Harrison has, man. Tony Harrison, we know, is supposed to be rematching Jamall Charlo a couple weeks ago. He ended up pulling out. Jamall Charlo said he faked that injury. Tony Harrison's on record saying that, if he wanted to get out of fight, all he had to do was say he had an ankle injury. Couple weeks later, he got an ankle injury. But I think Tony Harrison, man, he's the type of guy who ain't gonna bullshit around. I do think he got an ankle injury. He showed up to Jamall Charlo's fight just to let everybody know that, you know, he's in the building. You know what I mean? I ain't ducking, I ain't hiding, I ain't dodging no smoke. I'm in the building. And he was in the building, man. He was there to answer the questions. You know what I'm saying? To answer those tough questions. What happened? Why ain't you in the ring? Why ain't you in there getting that smoke? You know what I mean? Why ain't you up there in the ring right now? You know what I mean? He was there to answer all them questions, man. He was a man about it. And he answered it. You know what I'm saying? So I really think that he was hurt, man. I ain't going to hold it against him. I hope a lot of other people don't hold it against him. I do think he's hurt, man. But hopefully we get that fight by the end of the year. I know he was saying that, you know, it'll probably be a month before he can start doing anything. You know what I mean? So a month before you can start doing anything, he might gain weight. You know what I'm saying? Then it's going to be some time for him to lose the weight. And, you know, then he's going to have to train. So hopefully we can get that fight before the end of the year, man. That's all I'm saying. I really want to see that fight. Hopefully we can get it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they don't drag it till next year. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. We'll see. But the fight of the week, man, is Jamall Charlo. You know, he went up against the contender winner, Brandon the Cannon Adams. As y'all see at the beginning, man, when Brandon Adams was coming out, and he got announced as Brandon the Hammer, the Cannon. They showed the camera on him, man. He was mad about that. He said, "This is how they gonna mess my name up on Showtime." He was a little upset about that, man. But Brandon Adams, man, he proved to be a little tougher than I thought. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the mindset that Charlo was gonna go in here and get him out of there within 5 or 6 rounds. But Brandon Adams, man, credit to him, man. He showed up to fight. He said he didn't come to lose, he came to win. And I believe him. You know what I'm saying? I believe him by the effort that he showed. You know what I'm saying? He was awkward for Charlo. He was so little and he would get so low. You know, and Charlo's a tall dude, man. So Charlo was trying to hit him with them shots, you know what I'm saying, that he would usually be able to catch dudes with that 1-2, that vicious 1-2, boop, boop, that Charlo got, man. He wasn't able to get it cleanly on Adams. You know what I mean? There was a lot of punches that Jamall Charlo did nail him with. You know what I mean? He nailed them with some good uppercuts. I mean, I counted at least 5-6 solid uppercuts. Them uppercuts that he made J-Rock woozy with. You know what I mean? He caught Adams with them, man. And to Adams' credit, man, he took it on the chin. You know what I mean? He wobbled a couple times, man, but he was able to get his legs up under him, man. And you know, he made the fight rough for Jamall Charlo. Although Jamall Charlo won every single round was tough and contested. You know what I mean? He won them, but they was tough and contested. You know what I mean? Brandon Adams was up in his chest, you know, frustrated him, aggravated him, being awkward and just being, you know, just being aggressive, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brandon Adams, man. I think we're going to see some more Brandon Adams. He talked about going down to 154, possibly 147. You know what I'm saying? I think he would do very well at the lower weight divisions. Because if you looked at his body, he's a big dude. Brandon Adams was huge, man, he was huge, you know what I mean, compared to Charlo. You know what I mean? Charlo was ripped up, but Brandon he had a lot of muscle on him, but it was like thick muscle, man. His legs was like tree trunks. You know what I'm saying? He was a big guy. You know what I'm saying? He was a big guy. And I think 160 is I think he can go down. I think he can go down to 154, possibly 147. Lord Sweat for real says they will fight each other at 154, one great weight class. Yeah, man. I think that's like one of the best right now, 154, and they all getting busy. They all getting busy, man. So the question that I titled this video is Jamall Charlo the best middleweight out there? You know, and there's a reason why I titled it this. Is because Jamall Charlo, he cannot seem to get the top guys in the ring. You know what I'm saying? And the guys that they putting in front of him, he's dominating them. You know what I mean? He's dominating everybody that they put in front of him, and he cannot seem to get the elite 160 pounders in the ring. Why is that? Why not? Or why won't these guys fight him? You know what I'm saying? Why won't Triple G get in the ring with him? Why won't Canelo Alvarez get in the ring with him? Why won't Danny Jacobs get in the ring with him? You know, why won't these top guys get in the ring with Jamall Charlo? What's the deal? Are they scared of this young lion? You know what I'm saying? Jamall Charlo made a statement, man. He says, Canelo, he gave respect to Canelo. He said, Canelo Alvarez and Triple G, they have done a great job at, holding down the middleweight division. But he said, there's always that young, hungry lion ready to take their spot. And he said, that's me. And he's right, man. Jamall Charlo is there. You know what I'm saying? He is now the WBC middleweight champion of the world. So now they're going to have to come see him. You know what I mean? Guys like Triple G who don't have a title. If he wants to get back in the mix, you know what I'm saying? You got to come see Jamall Charlo. You know, if you want to get back in the mix, you got to see Jamall Charlo. Daniel Jacobs, if you want to come and get back in the mix, you're going to have to come see Jamall Charlo. You know what I mean? Guys like Sergey Derevyanchenko, you know what I mean? He looked like trash against Colt Clay. A couple months back. You know, I think Sergey Derevyanchenko is a really good fighter, man. He didn't look good. He didn't look good in his last fight. He looked terrible. You know what I'm saying? But I do think on a good night, he can hang with some of these guys at 160, man. But Jamall Charlo, he put on a very impressive display because at first he was a little bit impatient. We wanted that knockout in front of his home crowd. He was a little impatient trying to get that knockout. He was over anxious, and I thought it was going to be like his brother, like Jamall did with Tony Harrison, just trying to get that knockout. But luckily, Jamall got the discipline to listen to his trainer. Ronnie Shields told him in between rounds, listen, man, you're dominating this guy. You're winning every round. Stop trying to get the knockout. Stop trying to get it. And Jamall Charlo, luckily he listened to his trainer and he stopped trying to get the knockout, man. He settled down, you know what I mean, and he just outboxed Brandon Adams, man. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, man. He, they caught each other with some headbutts that Jamall definitely didn't like. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Adams was just smiling way too much for me, man. He was just smiling. He looked like, one of them dudes, one of them Chester molester type dudes, man, just smiling. One of them dudes that just sitting at the bench, you know what I mean, watching the girls swim, just smiling. You know what I'm saying? Chester molester. I mean, what is you smiling for? That's the weigh-in, man. He's showing all teeth. You know what I mean? But I guess that's just who he is, man. He's just a mellowed out dude, man. Mild-mannered guy who just like to show his teeth, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But Jamall Charlo did his thing, man. He dominated Brandon Adams, but in his domination, I think Brandon Adams showed that he was a tough competitor. He's you know what I mean? He wasn't just there to lay down, even though he lost every single round. In my opinion, he proved to be tough. Every single round was tough and contested. I think we'll see him again. I think he'll give some guys down at 154 some problems. I think he'll give some guys at 147 some problems. So whatever weight division he decides to go in, man, I think he'll do a good job, man. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll do a good job. But we got Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman. They coming up, on the 20th of this month. Coming up, I'm riding with Keith Thurman. I got, let me tell you this, man. I've been a Manny Pacquiao fan since they start showing him on TV. I've been a very big Manny Pacquiao fan. Having said that, I think Keith Thurman is going to knock Manny Pacquiao out, man. I think Keith Thurman is just, he's younger, he's hungrier. He's got power, he got speed, he got agility, he got everything that it would take to get the job done. Do I think Manny Pacquiao has a lot left in the tank? Absolutely. Do I think this is going to be an easy fight for Keith Thurman? No, not by any means. But I do think, when the bell rings, Keith Thurman's going to be ready. He's going to come out there. Keith Thurman likes to jump on his opponent from the beginning. He likes to give them a taste of his power from the first round. I'm a huge Keith Thurman fan. I study his fights for years since he stepped on the scene. And the first couple rounds, Keith Thurman loves to jump on you and put his power on you. He loves to show you that he can punch, and he can punch hard. And I think that's what he's going to try to do with Manny Pacquiao. And the question is, can Manny Pacquiao at age 40 take these heavy shots that Keith Thurman got to put on him? Yeah, I know what you're going to say. Keith Thurman ain't knocked out nobody in years. You know what I'm saying? But you can look at it like this. Keith Thurman has hurt, buckled, dropped, or knocked out everybody he's faced. Sean Porter, he buckled him. Danny Garcia, buckled him. Robert Guerrero dropped him. Everybody he's fought, he's dropped them, buckled them, or knocked them out. So Keith Thurman's power has been on display in every one of his fights. Every single one of his fights. And Manny Pacquiao, if you look at his resume, his last 7 or 8 guys that he fought, he has not fought a fighter with the power of Keith Thurman. I think I went over this a couple weeks ago. What's his name? Jeff Horn don't have the power of Keith Thurman. Adrian Broner don't have the power of Keith Thurman. Brandon Rios don't have the power of Keith Thurman. Lucas Matisse, washed up. He can't do what Keith Thurman can do. Timothy Bradley don't have the power of Keith Thurman. The great Floyd Mayweather don't have the power of Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at the last, 5 years, the last 5 years of Manny Pacquiao's opponents, none of them have the power that Keith Thurman has. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people are disgusted with Keith Thurman. They don't like Keith Thurman right now. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of what you think about Keith Thurman, you got to, if you're being objective and you're looking at this thing straight, you got to acknowledge that Keith Thurman can throw them hands. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman can fight. Keith Thurman got dog in him, man. Keith Thurman is going throw down. You know what I'm saying? You see, his last performance was, he looked terrible against Josecito Lopez. The man had been out the ring for almost 2 years. The man had injuries, surgeries. You know what I'm saying? And I think up until that 7th round, I think Keith Thurman was looking damn good against Josecito Lopez. You know what I mean? He got caught. He got hurt. You know what I'm saying? But what does a true champion do? A true champion is able to overcome adversity. He's able to finish the fight. And that's what Keith Thurman did. He looked crazy running around there. He got to learn to hold. You know what I mean? If that was one critique I got to give on Keith Thurman is when he gets hurt, he got to learn to hold, man. Hold or cover up. You know what I'm saying? Cover up or hold. Don't run around like a chicken with your head cut off. He's running around trying to get away, just backing up, with his hands down, getting caught more. You know what I'm saying? Getting his head snapped back. That's going to cause him to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? But I think he got this one in the bag, man. You hear Bob Arum and other guys saying that, they afraid for Manny Pacquiao. He's 40 years old. They don't want to see him get hurt. When you get 40 years old, man, things ain't working like they used to. You know what I mean? You could look at Zab Judah. You could look at Adonis Stevenson. Both of those guys fighting past 40 years old, man. Both of those guys got hit with some thunderous shots, man, and got some bleeding on the brain, man. This is what happens to guys who fight past 40. You know what I mean? And I'm proud to say that those guys have made good recoveries. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy for that. But what if, Manny Pacquiao get hit with something really, really hard by Keith Thurman at age 40? Deontay Wilder said something a couple weeks ago, man, that made a whole lot of sense, man. His doctor told him that the brain is not meant to get hit, especially as you age, man. And a 40-year-old brain is not meant to get hit, man. You know, I'm watching these videos, man. I'm looking at Keith Thurman train. I'm looking at it, looking at him sweating and really grinding, man. Keith Thurman is grinding. You know, and I'm wondering if Manny Pacquiao's taking this thing serious, you know. I'm watching all these videos that Ellie Setback has flooded my timeline with. You know what I'm saying? Ellie Setback running a marathon with Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao got 100 people following him. He kissing babies, signing autographs, waving like he's the mayor. Is he taking Keith Thurman as serious as he should? You know what I'm saying? Is he really serious about this fight? You know what I'm saying? How much training is you doing? Just because you jogging with 100 people, man. You know, playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? I see him doing all these things, man. I see Keith Thurman solo, dolo, grinding, sweating, putting that work in, man. You know what I mean? Keith Thurman is dialed in for this fight. He been calling out Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao since the day he stepped on the scene. You know? He been wanting this fight. If you think he ain't going to get up for the legend Manny Pacquiao, you're crazy. You know what I'm saying? If you think you're going to see the same fighter that stepped in the ring with Josecito Lopez come July 20th, you're crazy. Keith Thurman, you know, whether you hate him or love him, man, he going to show up to fight Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's the one that can send Manny Pacquiao into retirement. You know, Rod Ramon, what's good with you, fam? I ain't know you snuck up in here, man. Rod Ramon says Thurman can fight, but if Manny can use his angles and bounce in and out, he should win by decision. If Thurman can't sit down on his shots, it's over for Pac-Man. Now listen, years ago, you know what I'm saying, I would definitely roll with Pac-Man on this fight for the things you just said. His legs, man. Manny Pacquiao's strength, his major strength and his major gift, besides his punching power, is his ability to be able to get in and punch, bop, 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 and get out. You know what I mean? Come in at them different angles. Let his hands go and jump back out. Come in, let his hands go and jump back out. At age 40, his legs ain't moving like they used to. I seen it in that Adrian Broner fight now. Now, you could sleep on it if you want to. You know what I mean? His legs looked at okay. But he wasn't moving like the Manny Pacquiao of old, where he was able to get in there real fast, pop, 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 let them shots off and get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't doing that, man. You know what I mean? He was able to get in there and get out, but not with the smoothness and the quickness that he was able to back in his heyday. You know what I'm saying? He slowed down a little bit. His legs ain't what they used to be, man. And you know, when Keith Thurman loved to exchange, you know what I'm saying? So when Manny Pacquiao was punching, Keith Thurman gonna be punching. And if you notice, Marquez, Barrera, you know what I'm saying, Morales, everybody who had success against Manny Pacquiao had success counter punching him. You know what I mean? So when Manny Pacquiao's punching, Keith Thurman's gonna be punching as well. You know what I'm saying? And Keith Thurman got longer arms, and like I said, he can pop, man. Now, you know, it's gonna be a real interesting fight. It's gonna be a real interesting fight, man. I'm looking on this other monitor, man. Red glove. I am red as hell, ain't I? God damn, man. But it's all good. But I'm going with Thurman, man. I'm going with Thurman. I think Thurman can stop the legend Manny Pacquiao, man. I really do. I think he can stop him. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's gonna win this fight. You know, and I think by stopping Manny Pacquiao, I think it would give the Keith Thurman the confidence that he needs to fight Earl Spence. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, I don't think he got the confidence to do so. It just seemed like whenever Spence's name is mentioned, you know, Keith Thurman's whole energy just changed up. New Fat Boy Fitness, what's good with your fam? Fam, appreciate you sliding through here, man. I see you putting that work in on Instagram too, fam. I see that, man. Keep it up, family. Keep it up, man. But yeah, man, Keith Thurman, man, I think you know, just by watching the work that he's putting in, he's hired 2 nutritionists. You know, he's real serious about his diet. He's real serious about his training. You know what I'm saying? I think that he's going to stop Pacquiao, man. I really do. You know, I'm looking forward to this fight, man. I got this one circled. You know what I'm saying? I got this one circled. But I'm going to try to go to that Maurice Hooker, Jose Ramirez fight down in Dallas, man. I think that one right there, man, It's gonna be a real good one, man. That's gonna be a real good one. I like Maurice Hooker, Mighty Mo. Mighty Mo's the real deal, man. And we know Jose Ramirez is relentless with his pressure. He's gonna keep coming at Mighty Mo all night. Mighty Mo's gonna have to keep that jab out there, keep that stick out there, and just work everything off that jab. You know what I'm saying? Gonna have to work everything off that jab. I think it's gonna look a lot like that Alex Salcedo Maurice Hooker fight. You know what I mean? Where Salcedo tried to put that pressure on him and it was non-stop action. Although I know Jose Ramirez is way better than Salcedo in my opinion, but I think it's going to be that type of fight where, you know, it's going to be action-packed where, you know, Ramirez is going to try to put that pressure on Maurice Hooker and, you know, we're going to have a barn burner. You know, Mighty Mo got that confidence that I ain't seen him with, man. He's talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? He said he going to stop him. You know what I'm saying? He said after this he won Regis. He said he think he'll stop Regis. You know what I mean? He said they fought the amateurs. He said he lost that fight in the amateurs. You know what I mean? He said he got robbed. He said he really beat Progress up. You know what I mean? He said Progress know what happened. You know what I'm saying? And he kind of laughed at it. He said he'll stop Progress, man. You know, Maurice Hooker's talking that shit. He was asked about what's the young kid from Robert Garcia's gym, man? The young dude, man, who knocked out Herrera a couple hours. Virgil Ortiz. You know, he was asked about Virgil Ortiz. You know, Maurice Hooker said, man, I'll put that little boy over my lap and whoop him. You know, he said, we both from Dallas. He should be rooting for me. Instead, he calling me out, man. He said he's a puppy. He ain't ready yet. You know what I'm saying? You know, Maurice Hooker got a lot of confidence, man. And I want to see him back it up when he step into the ring for that unification fight against Jose Ramirez, man. But listen, man, that's my time, man. I just wanted to come on here, man, and do this show, the final round. You can catch me right here every Monday, you know what I'm saying, between 7 and 8 o'clock p.m. I'm going to jump on here, man. I'm going to do my thing. We're going to talk about the biggest news from the biggest faces in the sport of boxing. We're going to talk about the past weekend's fights, and we're going to talk about any breaking news that happened in the sport of boxing, man. But listen, man, I thank y'all all for tuning in, man. Like I said, if you have not hit that like button, man, go ahead and tap dance on that like button for me, man. I appreciate it. And if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, man, hit that subscribe button, man. You know, we stay knee deep into this boxing talk, man. But listen, man, I appreciate y'all coming through, you know. But in the meantime and in between time, I want y'all to stay blessed, stay safe, and keep on supporting this sport that we love called boxing. Peace. I'll holler back.